I want to tell you we have a special guest today. This is my youngest granddaughter, Caroline Ferguson, and we're so glad to have her. And she's going to help us do a couple of recipes today. We're going to do the poke salad, and then we're going to do a salmon recipe, and that's more her food than it is mine. Caroline, know how to do it. We're so proud to have you here.
First time we've seen each other in a year.
I want to brag a little bit about my granddaughter. Caroline is a student at Stanford, and she is doing a PhD degree there. And you'll finish it up this summer, is that right?
That's the plan.
Oh, great. We're so proud of her. Okay, we're going to get on and show you how to get your poke salad ready to cook.
Well, Mama, first I want to ask you, where can I find poke?
Poke is found in the wild. You find it a lot in the Delta of Arkansas. It's all over. The farmers sure know about it, and it gets to be kind of a nuisance because it multiplies real fast, and it's one of your early greens that comes out in the spring. So we used to, that would be one of the first green recipes that we'd cook would be poke salad. It has a berry on it called poke salad berries. And used to, when we were a kid, we'd get those berries and mash them up and make ink out of them. Because we didn't always have ink when we grew up, see.
Wow,
and we'd draw pictures and stuff with it, you know. So.
But not eat it.
Oh, yes, we'd eat it.
You can eat the berries,
No,
too?
no, not the berries, just the leaf.
Just the leaf.
When it's young, and tender.
Young.
That's right. You can't eat it when it gets old. Even when this is young, it still can be toxic. What it is, it's a secret of how you cook it. You cook it and you strain the water off of it and you cook it the second time. Some people cook it 3 times. And I cook it about 15 minutes and then I'll take the water and drain it, and then I'll cook it until it's tender. And then we drain it again and wash it. You wash it real good and squeeze it dry. So we'll go through all that process later. I have eaten this all my life, never had any problem with it. When we were young, we were taught how to handle it. You know, we picked the berries and mashed them and made ink out of them, but we knew better than to eat them. And I brought one of the stems that has not been cleaned so I could show you what it looks like. This is about the age that you need to pick it, or maybe a little smaller. We will just cut the top out of that. And when you clean it, you won't take any bad leaves, like this is a bad leaf. You don't want to use that. You don't want to use that one. Or this one. And if the stem is very big, don't save the stem either. Just cut that biggest stem off, and that's the part you would cook right there. That doesn't need to be growing much over 10 inches tall when you harvest it. This is a poke salad that has already been cleaned and ready to cook. It's been washed thoroughly. I usually have this out on the back line of my property, but I didn't have any, so I called one of my friends, John A. Brenner, and he has a farm, has several farms and some fish ponds. He drives around every day, and I called him and I said, John A., do you think there's any poke salad on your farm? And he said, well, we'll look. So he called one of his men and he gathered the poke salad and brought it to me. I didn't want him to do that. I was going to go pick it myself, but it was awfully sweet of him. Caroline, you've never cooked poke salad before.
I've never cooked it before.
Can't believe you're my granddaughter.
Well, I'm glad we're finally getting to it.
We have put water to just barely cover the poke salad. We're going to cook this for 15 minutes. Now this it looks like a lot of poke salad, but that will cook down to very little. It won't be nothing like as much as it looks like it is. So we're just going to put a top on that. We're going to cook this for about 15 minutes. We're going to boil it. Then we're going to take it over and put it in the colander and strain it and get all the water off, and then do that again. And then we'll cook it till it's tender. Caroline, just tell a little bit about you. What are you doing? And I don't have enough education to understand what this PhD is all about.
Oh, sure you do. Well, I study the role of women in food systems. So I'm really interested in women who gather food from the wild, like poke or fish or mushrooms or whatever, and feed their families and their communities and make an income from it.
Tell them about the time you spent on Palau Island.
Yes, a lot.
And you harvested cucumbers, the live cucumbers.
Sea cucumbers.
Sea cucumbers,
Not to be confused with cucumbers, which are delicious and not genetically related at all.
Oh, okay.
Sea cucumbers are these little blobs. They're very uncharismatic animals, but they have powerful healing properties. They can regenerate up to half their bodies. They can regenerate all of their internal organs. And so they're used in traditional Chinese medicine and in a lot of other kinds of medicines, and that makes them really expensive, really lucrative. So I'm really interested in how, these women are collecting sea cucumbers for their families, for food, and then all of a sudden you have this market come in paying tons of money for these things. So what happens to that system when that happens?
Well, did you get a grant to start a hatchery farm there?
We did. We're farming sea cucumbers now.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yes.
I'm so glad. Glad to hear about that. Well, this has been cooking about 15 minutes.
Oh, they're bright green.
We're going to take this off and put it over here in the colander and drain it. See, what we're doing is draining this. We're going to wash this real good. I got some cold water going over it, and then we're going to put it back in the pot, cover it with water, and cook it until it's tender. It won't take that long for it to get tender because we put this greens when we got it is real young and tender, so it won't take that long. We have washed this in cold water. We want it to drain real good, but next time we will do this, we will wash it a little bit more and squeeze it dry, so it won't take it long to get tender. See, it's already getting tender already.
So you're being really careful to cook it a couple of times because of the bitterness, because of the toxins?
It will taste bitter if you don't do that. The reason a lot of people don't like it, they don't know how to cook it. What you can do, Caroline, you can, when this gets tender, and wash it real good and squeeze all the water out, we put it in we put scrambled eggs. We put it with eggs and scramble it up. Then you can have a choice of cooking onions with it or bacon. When you get through, you sprinkle a little bacon over it. And I think you'll like it. You've never eaten it before.
I don't think I've ever had it before. I think I'm going to like it.
I've been cooking this for years. And sometimes when it's real plentiful, like I told you, don't have much back there this year, but we'll cook it and put it in the freezer. And the stage you put it in the freezer is the second cooking. When you get it washed and squeezed dry, you put it in a Ziploc bag and freeze it. And then all you have to do is take it out and mix eggs or whatever you want with it. So I like it.
Poke salad all year round.
Yeah, yeah, you do. We've done that. We're going to test this and see how tender it is. It's been cooking for 20 minutes. Now it cooked for 15 minutes and we washed it, and now it's going to cook for 20 minutes, and I believe it's tender enough. What do y'all think? Don't you think that's okay?
What am I looking for?
It has to be real tender. Like a tender green you're going to eat. Don't you think that's fine?
Like the consistency of collard greens?
We don't have a recipe.
Huh?
What?
About the consistency of collards or more tender than that?
A little more tender than that. I think that's right, though. I think that's fine, don't you?
I don't know. You're the boss.
Well, there's no really recipe for this, so it's a made-up thing, so I think it's ready. Okay, we're going to put this in the colander, and we're going to wash it again. We're going to run cold water over it and wash it. And then we'll squeeze all the liquid out of it after we wash it good. This is the most important thing about cooking poke salad, that you have to cook it right and be sure and wash it. If you don't wash it, it has a sort of a bitter taste to it. And I think that's what a lot of people do. They don't like it, they don't cook it right. So we've been eating this stuff all our lives, so.
Ma'am, you want me to get in there?
I'll let you do it. Is it hot? Is it still hot?
It's good. It's all right. So it's about the consistency of, like, really cooked spinach.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
falls apart a little bit.
Some people cook spinach with eggs like this. Do you know it? You ever cooked
pretty
spinach?
tasty.
You never have had it?
I guess I've had like a spinach and egg
Yeah,
spanakopita
I
or
think that is
something.
ready for you to squeeze that dry. You're going to get all the water out of it you can. It made more than I thought it was going to. Look, you got quite a bit, hadn't you? That was about a gallon of green ones. I think that's about enough, Caroline.
You think that's
I think so.
dry enough?
Just leave it in the colander for right now.
All right.
Oh, we're going to have to brown our onions. Look, you need to wash your hands.
So we've got bacon grease
We have bacon grease
lunch.
from bacon, because if we're going to have bacon that we have cut up over here, and at the end of the thing, you can serve this on top of it. So this is a bacon we cook, the drippings from it that we cook. So now we're going to put onions in it. Okay.
All of them?
All of them. It's about, would you say, a half a cup or more?
Let's see if we can do this with one hand, like Sabrina.
Oh, you're pretty fancy. Caroline is a pretty good cook, though, I tell you. She just doesn't cook the same kind of food that I do.
Well, I'm trying today, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Oh, now get your beater and beat that up.
Now, I noticed we haven't added salt to anything. Are we going to add
We're going to
salt?
add salt and pepper to that. So you can do it with those eggs if you want to. There it is. I think these onions are ready. Now, we're going to put our poke salad. Oh, just put it in there to taste. That's fine. That's all you need to do. Now, we've added our poke salad to the onions. And now
smells
Caroline
great.
is fixing to put the eggs. It's already been salt and peppered. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think that's all there is to it now. And we stir this up. You want to do that? You stir it up, mix it real good, and then we'll be about through.
Now, what temperature is the skillet on this whole time, Mama?
It's on about medium high.
Medium high. You know, really, this was a pretty quick and easy recipe.
It is. It is. If you see any lumps in it, take your spoon and kind of separate it like that one right there. You separate it, yeah, that's right. You want your egg mixed in it real good. And if it doesn't look like it's enough egg, you can put another one in if you want to. It's whatever, whatever you like. Because like I told you, this is a made-up recipe. It's not something that was handed to me that somebody made.
Now I can imagine riffing on this with some soy sauce and some sesame seeds. Maybe put a little miso in there. You could do some cool
Well,
stuff with this simple recipe.
We didn't have all that available to us when we were young.
Well, I'm glad we made it the classic way first. This is
Let me-
looking about ready, I think.
Okay, let me get a bowl for you. If you can put it in there.
Whoop. It is a mess.
That made a lot more than I thought it was going to. That looks good.
We can have the neighbors over.
Yeah. Just put how much you think you want. I don't think you want all that. I believe that's about enough. You try that and see how you like it.
That's delicious.
It is good, isn't
That's you. Y'all gotta make this.
it? That's good. That's some of the best greens I've eaten.
That's so good. You know, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I like it a lot better actually than even collards or kale or any of the more popular greens.
Oh, well, great.
I think this is my new favorite green.
Love my Caroline. Caroline, we have finished our poke salad, and Caroline really likes it. I'm glad that she likes it because it's the first time she's ever had it. So I hope you do watch this, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you watch another family video. And I hope we get Caroline back more often.
Absolutely.
So,
if every dish is this delicious.
I know. Great to have you here.
of people like weed, but this is really good weed.